We are here with Imam Shaykh Fode Drame. I am Adeyinka Mendes. Today we're going to be having a conversation about initiation into manhood, particularly initiation into adulthood, into the knowledge of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and ultimately to knowledge of one's creator and knowledge of the creation. I met Imam Fode Drame about 5 years ago, and I've had the blessing of studying with him. He is a prolific author and a scholar who specializes and spends most of his time teaching the a traveler on the path of Prophet Muhammad. God bless him and grant him peace, and the path of all the prophets and messengers, Adam and Noah and Abraham and Moses and Jesus Christ and so many other prophets whom we don't know, peace be upon them. And he hails from the Jahanke nation, the Jahanke people of West Africa, who for over 1,000 years at least were the ambassadors and the interlocutors of the universal message of Islam, the way of love, the way of peaceful surrender in Africa. They brought healing to many different diverse peoples. They literally fed with food from their own farms and meat and milk from their own animals, people all across the continent. And they taught people. They brought literacy to the continent of Africa and faith and wisdom and so many other benefits. We Imam Fode currently lives in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where he has founded the Zawiya Foundation, a school called the Kausain Knowledge House, and he leads and every religion of every background. So we're very honored to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Barakallah, my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Barakallah.
Uh,
God bless
I-
you, Mendes.
Imam Fode, we've had a number of conversations over the years about
Mm,
rites of passage,
that's
about
right.
initiation.
That's right.
And before we go into some questions about your own experience, what is initiation? What is a rites of passage, and why is it important?
Um, the easiest way of explaining initiation is dreaming. uh, when you dream and you enter a different world than the world that you know in your waking, that's a type of initiation. And it
Yes,
is. Many people are initiated by God
yes,
through their dreams. So is similarly uh, to initiate you into any mystery, mm, into any world, unknown world to you
mhm,
that you have never entered. And there are people who have entered this world and know this world, and they want to help you also get into the same world that they have explored. So there has to be a way of introducing you
mhm,
into this new world. We call that initiation. So a boy in the world of men, adults,
right,
unmarried in the world of married people.
right,
So it's that's kind of basically what the initiation is about.
okay,
So, um, so the God there are two realities that human being lives in, Ghaib and Shahada. So Shahada is the known world,
no more,
the world that we witness,
mhm,
and the Ghaib is the unknown. So when God wants to uh, admit somebody into the Ghaib,
mhm,
show you the unknown, the unseen world. then he initiates you.
Right.
Most often, it begins by dreaming.
Right.
As we know, Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi
Yes.
salam was initiated by God
Right.
in his sleep.
Right.
And even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam
Salam.
also, according to the hadith in Sayyidina Aisha and Bukhari, he was dreaming for 6 months
Right.
before the waking encounter with the angel took place. So he was being initiated for 6 months
And that
into the
initial
ghaib.
into the unseen.
Exactly. That's what's called initiation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And why is that important? So you mentioned the initiation of Joseph. For those of you who are listening who don't know Arabic, Yusuf is Joseph in the Quran, and why is that important? Why is it important to be initiated? We have millions of young men in our society, for example, here in North America, who appear to be hungry for initiation,
That's
but they
right.
seek it through joining a gang or joining the military
Mm,
or joining a Greek
mm,
fraternity
mm.
or some other society, secret society.
That's
Why
right.
why why is there so much hunger among men and women, to
Mhm.
be initiated? Why is that important to human beings?
It is uh, an inherent, uh, innate quest in every soul, because human being is made of a body and a soul, and our souls were initiated before, were shown a reality, a world before they came into this world. But since they uh, were introduced into this world, they sort of lost touch
Mhm.
with the world before this one
Okay.
that they were introduced into.
Okay.
So they were initiated earlier before they were sent down here. So,
Mm.
so still that yearning lingers at the depth of the soul. There's the yearning to go back to that.
Okay.
So a person may not know why, but because it's there, it's already there, it's already bedded inside you. And I think that's why God, before he sent Adam on earth, and Adam was meant to come on earth. That's a Khalifa, it's already mentioned, but has to initiate him into paradise.
Right.
Once he's initiated, then he took him out and sent him down on the earth so that eventually he can make his way back into paradise. So we are all initiated at some point into the unseen. Somewhere does it first, and then a teacher or someone who knows about this does it second. So so it's a kind of it's not a reinitiation into something that is you have already been initiated into.
Mm.
So if it does find a proper conductor for this, then it's good. If not, the soul is going to search for for
Mm.
something that it sort of knew about somehow vaguely, but it doesn't remember exactly. Anything will do because is an innate yearning that you can no matter what. Human being needs to be initiated
Right.
into something. Yeah.
So that brings me to my next question.
Mhm.
What age
Mhm.
does initiation, does the rites of passage, does this being this the beginning of one's dreaming, this state of dreaming that you called it? What age does that begin, or what age did you were you initiated in your own tradition, the Jahanke tradition?
That's right. So I will sort of younger tradition now has compounded sort of two traditions, Islamic and the pre-Islamic traditions.
Right.
That's what I think. I'll call that maybe ancient Egyptian because that's where their roots comes from.
Ancient Egypt.
Ancient
Yeah.
Egypt. So before probably the introduction of Islam, the initiation was done at a point when one is about to attain adulthood,
Okay.
becoming a man. Um, and that comes from um, sort of a correlation between what we call when any human being is becoming an adult,
Mm-hmm.
usually they dream, and when they dream, they come with a wet dream.
Yes. Yes.
So that marks the point when now that God is saying that you are an adult,
Yes.
you can be married, have
Yes.
one another. So they sort of, that was the
Mm-hmm.
age.
Right.
So all the boys who have attained around that age, that they are initiated together. So when Islam came, so they push the age a bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the initiation into the Quranic schools, because
Okay.
also another initiation.
Right.
That's the first one. Then the
Mm.
second initiation into what we call Wana.
Why not?
That's the name for the establishment
Mm-hmm.
of initiation,
Okay.
called Wana.
Why not?
So, so that was the only Wana before Islam. When Islam came, so they have two now.
Okay.
So when we attain the age of 6, then we are introduced, we are initiated in the Quran school.
Okay.
And then, so all the boys of close ages,
Mm-hmm.
we are all initiated together into the
Okay.
Quranic school. So they make some traditional sweets that they make,
Mm-hmm.
and they call sengeto,
Second thought.
sengeto. And so all the families bring the children at the
Mm-hmm.
masjid,
Okay.
all of us, and they call this white in the hand.
Right.
That's the name of this whole ceremony.
Right.
Writing
The
the hand.
hand. Writing the
They call
hand.
bulu safe.
Bulu Sefe.
Bulu means hand. Safe means white.
Safe.
Ah,
Uh,
because when we come to the masjid, the mosque, then and everybody take their turn. You sit in front of the imam.
mm.
You knee to knee,
Mm.
and the imam said, "Show me your right hand."
Mm.
Then he will write your first name with the traditional ink and a reed pen,
Right.
and made of reeds. So he'll write your first name, like my first name is Fode.
What day?
He'll write Fode here
Right.
and spread some salt. So in Arabic characters, of course, Fa, Waw, Dalia, Fode.
Okay.
Then some salt. He tell me to lick that.
Right.
I lick it. So I'm imbibing
Right.
my name. And then my left hand,
Mm.
he'll write Drame. Is my last name,
Your last
my family name. Also spread some salt, and I'll lick that.
name. Mm.
And then he will write Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Till Dhalin.
Where does he write Al Fatiha?
On a wooden tablet.
On a wooden
On
tablet.
a wooden tablet, he'll write Fatiha. And then he will read and ask me to follow him.
Mm.
Then he will first do by, that's because the way the young institutions, we learn alphabet through the Quran. We don't have abatasa,
Mm-hmm.
no, or alif
Mm.
batasa, no. Everything is on the Quran
Right.
directly. So we start with Fatiha
Right.
to learn the name of the alphabet, the letters. We said alif, bai, and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with B, bai, Sini, Mimara.
Okay.
So they have their own names also for the letters,
Right.
which are not necessarily Arabic names. So by Sini Mimara, Alifu, Lamu, Are.
Uh-huh.
So Hasakunte, Mimu, if Jonginte, Nunara.
Right.
So like that.
Yes.
So this is how so he'll tell me this in Fatiha
Mm-hmm.
until Waladhalim.
Mm-hmm.
But because my father is a teacher,
Uh,
so I was already,
You already-
I wasn't initiated
Right.
officially,
Right.
but because I attend the classes when my father's teaching, so I already know all the alphabet.
Right.
So this is the initiation into
Mm.
the Quranic school. Well, as you can see, the importance of name,
Right.
as you can see, and that'll take us a little bit more back before this. Let's go. You the community sort of takes care of you even before your birth. There will be, uh, they will say to the whole community,
Mm,
we need to find a name for this child.
right.
If it is a man or is a woman, usually they don't know, but they will know because through dreams,
Mhm.
the gender of the baby.
Through the dreams.
Yes,
Through the dreams.
yes. So
Not
they
they're
will
not
say,
looking at a name book.
no, no.
Right.
They'll say, if anybody dreams about a name for the baby, let us know. If God show anyone in your sleep about the baby, his or her name, let us know. That'll be the first choice
Hmm.
because that is something from God. If nobody sees anything until the baby is born, and nobody sees anything until the seventh day of the Aqiqah, then the father or the family will pick a name. Usually, it's also the grandfather,
The
or the
grandfather.
authority. But the first choice is what God shows someone in a dream. And there's something very special about that. That your name is not just me choosing a fancy name for my child
Yes.
because it
Yes.
sounds good, because
Yes.
no.
Mm,
It's a choice of God.
mm,
God chooses your name and somebody sees it,
right.
and that's your name.
And that's the whole community
The
is
whole
involved in that.
community, yeah. And I think that could, in my own research, that could have gone back to a prophetic tradition.
Mm,
Why? Because it was the practice of the Prophet ﷺ
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
that after every fajr, he will turn around and ask the congregation, did
Mm,
anybody see? If nobody sees a dream, he say, I saw a dream.
mhm.
And he'll tell them his dream and what it means. So in a way, it's a kind of, this was the way news comes to the community, and news is shared
That's
by the
shared.
community through dreams. And this is something that Muslims have lost today.
I've lost. Yes.
Yeah, we have lost contact with the dreams and its role in our community. So
And
every morning when we get together, Fayed, did you see any dream? Maybe God is sending a message through someone
yes.
to our community.
Yes.
That's important for us.
Yes.
So this is how a child life begins even before they come. A name is chosen for them and is seen by somebody in the community. And so the child is born and is named as such. And on the day of the initiation in the Quran, to the Quranic school, his name is written again
Mm-hmm.
on his hand, both hands,
Mm-hmm.
and he licks them, and then is initiated this way into the knowledge of Quran al-Karim.
So I see a lot of symbolism in what you just described.
That's right.
There's a verse in the Quran that mentions
Mhm.
that God taught Adam all of the names.
Exactly. Yes.
There's a verse in the Quran that says that God taught the human being through the pen.
Yes.
And the Quran also mentions how the knowledge of all things that will ever occur
Mhm.
is recorded on a tablet,
On a tablet.
a guarded tablet.
That's true.
So it seems to me that all of these symbols, and I'm sure there are other layers of
There are other
meaning,
layers of meaning.
they're all present
They are all
at that
present
very first
in that first initiation.
initiation.
All of this. Yes.
Mhm.
All of this. Yes. The name, the pen, the ink,
Right, the
the
ink,
tablet,
noon, yes.
moon. Yes. All these are together, are put together in this initiation. So it's very dense. It's very the symbolic meaning is quite vast. It would take a long time just to
I'm
break it
sure.
down in those the details.
And could you share with us something in our remaining time about the pre-Islamic initiation, the Jahanke indigenous initiation
Okay.
that you experienced?
So again, at the it used to be, as I said, at a later time,
Mm-hmm.
um, but they have brought it a little bit earlier because of for Islamic reasons. And so probably between the age, still it's not that early,
Mm-hmm.
still between the age of 7 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they built uh, a sort of a booth, sort of a a makeshift uh, kind of building outside of the village,
Mm-hmm.
because all this takes place now. We are going to be men, so we have to leave the village.
Separation
Yes, we are separated from our normal life. We have to go into the wilderness, into the forest.
into the forest.
Yes, you're going to become a man now. You have to
Yes.
be tough, strong,
Yes.
persistent, patient, forbearing. So all this.
Yes.
So
Mm.
so the night preceding the morning of the actual initiation, which goes with circumcision
Yes.
of all the, we are all gathered at the usually at the house of the imam
Mm-hmm.
and in the main court.
Right.
And we are young, but we didn't know what's going on. They just go, they come here, they bother together.
And so what you're saying is before the age of 7, the children are not circumcised.
No,
Right.
no,
Which
they
is
are not.
different than what we do in
Yes, no,
North America.
no.
We usually circumcise within the first week.
In the first week.
Uh,
So so that's kind of the also the goes back to the tradition of Sayyidina Ibrahim, because
yeah, Abraham, right?
Abraham,
Yeah.
Sayyidina Ishaq was
Isaac.
sacked at the age of 13.
13.
So yeah, so that also both has
Both.
some type of
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So so we are not circumcised until initiate, because they're going to teach you very profound wisdom. A child can understand that. You have to be not only physically grown up, but also mentally grown up. That's why it's
Yeah.
late.
A lot of people, a lot of Americans would find that cruel, right? So what's the significant? What's the meaning in
Mhm.
in having a later circumcision? I remember when I came to one of your retreats,
Mhm,
one of your students, who's a Canadian woman,
mhm.
she had a son
That's right.
who had some challenges in his life, and she told me that he was circumcised
Yeah,
in the hospital, of course,
of course.
in Canada
Mhm.
at the age of 11 or 12.
Yeah, yeah,
And then she went with you to Gambia.
yeah,
And in Gambia, there was a ceremony, a
yeah.
celebration of
That's right.
his rites of passage, of his initiation.
That's right.
And she told me that he was a completely different boy.
Completely.
He became a man.
Absolutely.
Everything, his empathy, his concern, his humility,
That's right.
his inclination towards God.
That's right.
And
That's
she
right.
attributed a lot of that to this.
I'm sure it has to do with that, definitely. Yeah. So there are many reasons why the circumcision is delayed to that age. As I said, the first one, because it goes along with the initiation.
Right.
Yes. So it's simultaneously. One of uh, the main purpose of laying the circumcision to an age where the child is conscious of his action. It's not something that is done on him, but it's something that he chooses
Right.
to do.
Right. He
He
chooses.
chooses to do. That means he likes it. So it's not, if as a baby you are circumcised, you had no choice in it.
Right.
As at that age, you have a choice.
Right.
You can say, because they ask you, do you want to go? You want to? Everybody says, I want to go.
Right.
They do ask us that question.
Right.
And that also to see, because they want to see if this child is he courageous enough,
Mhm.
because they're going to teach you things that will need courage,
Mhm.
will need maturity,
Right.
will need patience, and we need the ability to bear pain. They have to. So if you cannot go through the pain of operation,
Mhm.
then certainly you're not ready to be able to handle those higher fruits that they're going to teach you. You're going to learn to hunt. You're going to learn to face wild animals. So
Right.
this is the list. So there are many reasons why they have to put it
Right.
to this age. Is kind of that's your first trial,
So this
and
is
there are more trials to come.
so this is something that I've learned,
Mhm.
that initiation, that becoming a man, becoming a woman
Mhm.
has certain elements.
That's right.
There's the separation, from what you're used to.
Mhm.
There's facing a trial, facing an ordeal or
Absolutely.
ordeals.
Absolutely.
Then there's an initiation
Mhm.
into new knowledge,
That's right.
and then there's the integration back into the
Back into the
community.
community. Yes.
Is this
Yes.
something that you also
This is
experience?
exactly what we went through.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if morning of the day of our leaving the village and going into
Mm.
the forest,
Right.
where we sometime at our time when I went, it was about 2 months.
2 months were with you. How many
We were we
adults,
were more than
elders?
100 boys,
100 boys.
more than that.
More than 100.
Yeah, well, minimum for sure we are 100 and more from the village, from the same village.
Mm.
So the morning is it's very beautiful. There's a big clearing
Mhm.
in the forest where the blacksmiths are the one who do the circumcision traditionally.
Okay.
But they deal with iron, so they are the one who have this knowledge.
How far is the
It's a
forest from the
perfect.
village? Smiths have the knowledge
They are the one they are the one who have been custodians of this knowledge.
from
How to
generation to
perfect
generation,
from thousands of years
thousands of years. Huh?
from ancient Egypt time, definitely. How
Mm.
to how to circumcise
Mm.
in the most harmless manner,
Mm.
in the most effective, efficacious manner. Nobody gets hurt. It's done very quickly, very perfectly. Yeah. Of course, they have the traditional herbs that. So the blacksmiths are the one who do the operation,
Okay.
and there's another class of people in who are the healers who heal us,
Mm.
who know they go in the forest and they get all the herbs
Mm.
and put them together. So
Mm.
every morning they take a sort of a blacksmith. We are all there,
Mhm.
and all the boys were brought,
Mhm.
and we were all circumcised in a very short time. And then once that's done, then our sisters,
Mhm.
the sisters of all the boys who are there, they have this they have prepared some type of sweet rice with sugar, and they were gonna come to present this to their brothers. Well, it's not just that it's a race. Which system does it first, comes first. So they run with this thing on their head. They all run, and whoever comes first, that becomes kind of prize winner of among the girls who
This
comes
is
first.
fascinating.
It's
And this
fascinating.
is still this is during the initiation
Yeah,
or at the end.
right after the circumcision.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
the women, these girls,
Mhm.
play a role as
They
well.
play a role,
Very
and
good.
they are more role because they are the one who bring our food, and they also bring water when we are thirsty.
Hmm.
So we'll sing some kind of songs that telling them that they can hear from far that we are thirsty and the waters will come. So, so there is, but they come quickly. They don't get into because this is is a man's mystery
Hmm.
that is very very well gathered. So they will come to a distance and they will put the water and the kintang. If you look at because I saw the movie Roots.
Roots, yeah.
Yes, they have these terms there because they
Right.
use the so the kintang are the younger supervisors. They have two
Mhm.
classes. The elder one who are the doctors who treat us,
Right.
and there are younger supervisors also.
Right.
Yeah. So they are the one who go and they bring the water into the
Mm.
wana. So then our initiation begins from there on.
Thank you.
Yes.
We only have a minute left before the end of this, and I know from my
We
conversations
just
with you,
started.
there's so
We
much,
just
so
starting.
much more.
Yeah.
There's so many
We just started. The real things haven't come.
lessons,
Yeah.
and the part of the intention for recording this, and we know that initiation is usually veiled in secrecy,
Mm,
and we thank you for sharing whatever you choose to share
absolutely.
with us from the Jahanke initiatory tradition.
Absolutely.
Are there any final words, final thoughts you want to share with people who may be watching or listening? People who are Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Hindu or Buddhist, or maybe don't have any spiritual or religious tradition, but
Mm.
they feel a hunger for something more
That's right.
in life. They feel a hunger for initiation.
That's right.
Is there anything you'd like to share with them?
Yeah, definitely. I sometimes I wonder what if I hadn't gone through this experience, what would have become of me? I know I wouldn't be the same person I'm today.
Mm,
I'm certain about that. So I feel very lucky that God gave me the opportunity to have this experience before I get exposed to the Western culture.
yes.
Yes, and I think that the what is lacking here in the Western world and what human souls are yearning for here is this type of, if not fulfilled in the right way, is going to find fulfillment in the wrong way. Yeah. So
Thank you. Thank you for
that's
that. Thank you for that.
that's
And we hope out of this,
and we
this is
hope.
not just a intellectual exercise. We are, we are working with Imam Fode and hoping he can help us to craft an initiatory experience that is based on the guidance of the Creator, that's rooted in tradition and what's been passed on,
That's right.
and something that's healing and wholesome for men and for women in this
Absolutely.
society.
And I believe that this is something, being part of something that is thousands of years. I'm sure this goes as thousands of years as we could we could go back. This is something that has been coming down.
Thank
So it is something invaluable, something that nothing can replace.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Uh,
Welcome.
please do yourself a favor and visit Imam Fode's website, zawiya.ca. That's ZAWIYAH.ca, where you can learn about his many, many books. He's a prolific author, and his translation of the Quran and his classes and retreats. And just stay tuned and look out for the next episode on initiation,
Inshallah.
its meaning, its principles, and its objectives. Thank you.
Barakallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
Allah